NBA chaplaincy on record. Dr. Toney Evans is married to Lois, his wife and ministry partner of over 50 years. They are the proud parents of 4, grandparents of 13, and great-grandparents of 2. Please stand and welcome our guest preacher, Dr. Toney Evans.
Thank you so much. As you can hear, I'm struggling but still grateful to be here. I want to congratulate your pastor on his 30 years. I'm here with my daughter Priscilla, who's at the privilege. Great ministry. And I also want to thank the church for your prayers for my wife and for our circumstances right now. It is good to know that you're fighting your deep battles, you're not fighting alone.
Amen. And I got my camera. Let me send it home.
Father, as we fight through the challenges of life, we know many who are here this morning are battling. Give them a word to encourage them during this season. And we're going to, as the song was just sung, we're going to praise you while we wait. In Jesus' name.
Yes. Amen.
In football, the coach has a red flag. It's called a challenge flag. That red flag is thrown out by the coach when he disagrees with the call on the field. He believes that the referees have made a bad call, and he wants to challenge the call in hopes of a reversal. And so he reaches either in his pocket or one of his staff handlers hands him a red flag, and he tosses it onto the field to say, I disagree with what you saw, what you said, and the call you made. If the truth be told, if we were being raw, honest, and not trying to be super spiritual, there are times when you want to throw a red flag out on God.
Yeah, Lord, my Lord. Testify. Jesus.
There are times when you feel like God has made a bad call in your life and in your circumstances. You feel like he's missed the play. You want him to go back and review the film and change the call. Such was the feeling of 2 sisters in Mark 11, Martha and Mary. They threw the red flag out on Jesus. In verse 21, Martha says, if you would have been here, our brother would not have died. In verse 32, Mary says, if you would have been here, our brother would not have died. In other words, it was your absence that put us in this crisis situation. Because you were nowhere to be found when we needed you most. Because the line was busy when we called on you. Our circumstances have unraveled. When the chapter opens of John 11, Martha and Mary sent word to Jesus, "Come, our brother is sick." Not only do they send a word, but we're told about the relationship. It says in verse 3, so the sisters sent word to him saying, "Lord, behold, he whom you love is sick." Verse 4 says, "The sickness is not unto death, but for the glory of God, so the Son of God may be glorified." Now Jesus loved Martha and her sister and Lazarus. We've got a medical crisis with spiritual people. We're told that Jesus loved them and they loved Jesus.
Yeah.
So evidently, spiritual folk can get sick.
That's right. That's right.
That sickness is not necessarily because of sin. They love Jesus, Jesus loved them, but he still got sick.
That's right.
Not only did they cry out in a form of prayer that Jesus would intervene in their crisis, but Jesus sent them a word back. Because verse 4 says, "This sickness is not unto death." So everything looks like it's on target. They cried out to Jesus. Jesus sent the word back, and they love each other. It doesn't get any better than that we're close to Jesus, Jesus is close to us, we have a problem. And we come to church and get a word to encourage us. The sickness is not a death. So far, so good.
Yep.
We bring our problems to Jesus. We bring our crisis. A crisis is when you're overwhelmed with negative circumstances. You feel helpless. You're in the boxing ring of life and being beaten to death, and the ref won't stop the fight. You're trapped in the elevator of not being able to escape. And then you go to Jesus. You've been told to go to Jesus. You've been preached to go to Jesus. You go to Jesus. That's what they did. But there's a problem. Even though they've heard the word of God, it's not unto death, even though they've been encouraged, even though they've been inspired, even though they prayed and gone to Jesus, we're told in verse 6 that Jesus stayed where he was 2 days. Wait a minute, Jesus. I prayed. You gave me a good word. And now you're going to hang back when I need you most. You're going to delay when I'm in a rush. You're going to go slow when I need fast.
My Lord, my Lord, my Lord.
I'm reaching for my red flag, Jesus. I'm reaching for my red flag because this is not how I expect this to work out. I thought you would rush to get to me. I thought you'd do one of your supernatural tricks and transport yourself into my situation. Not only that, but verse 15 says, "And I'm glad died for your sakes, I was not there. Not only did not you come when I needed you, you were happy to delay. I'm sad and you're glad. I'm mad and you're happy. I'm hurting and you're smiling. And so, excuse me, we got a contradiction. Martha is the type A personality of the sisters. She marches out to Jesus while Mary hangs back. Martha can't take it anymore. And she bursts on the scene and says, if you would have been here, my brother would not have died. But then in verse 22, she reaches back to her theology and she says, but even now,